Okay, what if I told you that the most frustrating customer complaints your business gets are actually a secret weapon? We're about to dive into a framework that flips the script. It turns those product concerns, the stuff you might see as just a liability, into your absolute best source of innovation and, maybe most importantly, customer trust. All right, to really get why this matters, let's just start with one number: 17,000. That's how many products are currently under a safety recall around the world. It's a huge number, and it's a stark reminder that even with the best of intentions, flaws happen. They get through. And when they do, well, the fallout can be absolutely massive. And look, the risk isn't just about safety. The financial hit from getting your communication wrong can be staggering. We're talking $45 million in damages, just for exaggerating health claims. That, right there, is the price you pay for being unclear, for being opaque, but really, at its core, it's the price of not listening. And that leads us right to the heart of the problem, which we're calling the high cost of silence. Because when companies fail to listen, they're not just missing out on some helpful feedback. No, they're basically inviting disaster through the front door. You see, ignoring customer concerns isn't just bad service. It is a critical business risk. And it pops up in a few pretty scary ways. You've got those costly, chaotic product recalls we talked about. You've got expensive lawsuits, like that $45 million one. And maybe worst of all, you get catastrophic damage to your brand's reputation, to that trust you've spent years trying to build. So, okay, what's the alternative, right? This is where we make a really important shift from the problem to the solution. It all starts with a completely new mindset. What if you saw every single complaint not as a threat, but as a gift? So there are really two ways to look at this. You have the old way, which is totally reactive, right? You just wait for problems to bubble up. You see feedback as a cost, a chore, a threat. But then there's the future fit way. This is all about being proactive. You go out and you actively look for feedback. You treat it like an asset, a tool for innovation, and a golden opportunity to build real, lasting trust. But how do you actually make that shift? I mean, what if there was a real, systematic way to take all that feedback, the good, the bad, and yeah, even the ugly, and turn it into your single, most valuable resource? Well, that's exactly what this is all about. We're going to walk through the Future Fit listening framework. And this isn't just some vague philosophy, okay? It's a concrete, actionable system. So let's dig in and see how it actually works.
At its core, the framework is a system that's built on 8 specific criteria. But don't worry about memorizing all 8 right now. They all boil down to 3 main goals. First, you have to actively solicit feedback, not just sit back and wait for it. Second, you have to impartially judge it, which means every single concern gets a fair hearing. And third, you have to transparently address it, so your customers actually know they've been heard.
So we can group those 8 criteria into 3 really simple, high-level steps. Step 1 is all about access. Basically, can all your customers easily reach you? Step 2 is the process. Is it fair? Is it transparent? And step 3 is improvement. Are you actually using the feedback to get better? And are you always refining the system itself? Access, process, improve. Simple. Okay, let's make this real. Here's a quick case study. Let's talk about Acme Inc. and their lemonade. So they expand into a new country, country B, but they miss a huge crucial detail. Their website and their concern form are only in the language of country A. This is a classic failure of that first step, access. And the impact is pretty obvious, right? A whole market of customers had no real way to voice their concerns. They were effectively silenced. Now, here's what makes this framework so incredibly powerful. It's not just about, good intentions and trying to be a good company. It's measurable. You can actually put a number on how well you're listening. And you do this with something called a fitness score. It's simple. You take a product and you assess it against those 8 criteria we mentioned. If you meet all 8, boom, you get a 100% fit score. If you meet none, or you miss some of the really crucial ones, you're down at 0. It gives you this super clear number-based benchmark so you can track your progress over time. So let's jump back to our friends at Acme Lemonade. In their home country, country A, everything was great.
Their system was solid, they got a 100% fit score. But in the new market, Country B, that language barrier was a big problem. It meant they failed on accessibility and a couple of other key points. So by only meeting 6 of the 8 criteria, their fitness score in that market was just 80%. Okay, so what's our overall score then? It's 90%. But here's the really clever part. This is not just a simple average. It's a revenue-weighted score. That means the performance in each market is weighted by how much money it brings in. Think about that. A company can't hide a totally broken feedback system in a product line that makes a ton of money. It directly, mathematically connects how well you listen to your bottom line. No hiding.
So you might be thinking, okay, that's a lot of work. Why go through all this? What's the real, ultimate payoff for adopting this kind of mindset? Well, let me tell you, it goes way, way beyond just managing a few complaints. The payoff is absolutely huge. First, you build what I'd call unbreakable trust. Your customers actually see you listening and taking action. Second, you drive incredible product innovation because all that feedback, that's now your best R&D department. Third, you create a truly resilient brand because you're fixing little problems before they can explode into massive crises. And finally, as we're about to see, you're actually contributing to a more sustainable future.
And yeah, there's an even bigger picture here. This whole approach directly supports the UN Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. When you give people the information they need, you're helping with SDG 12, which is all about responsible consumption. And when you build an accountable, transparent system, you're chipping in on SDG 16, which is about creating stronger, more effective institutions. So it's not just good for business, it's actually good for the world.
So let's end with a question, one for you to really think about. Take a hard look at your own organization, your own products. Are they truly built to listen? Or are they, like so many others out there, just waiting for a crisis to come along and silence them? The choice and the incredible opportunity is yours.